Malaysia, no more prison, only rehab for drug abusers and addicts under new law.
Here's a summary of the article.
Kuala Lumpur, drug abusers and addicts will be rehabilitated instead of being sent to jail when the proposed Drug and Substance Abuse Act replaces the Drug Dependence Act 1983 later this year. Home Minister Hamza Zainuddin said the change of approach towards drug abusers and addicts, from prison sentences to rehabilitation and treatment programs, will happen this year and would remove the stigma they carry in society, which looked negatively at abusers and drug addicts. Hamza said the theme, Lebih Baik Siga, was chosen for this year's National Anti-Drugs Day celebration to remind all parties to play a proactive role to protect themselves and individuals under their responsibility from dangerous drugs. NADA Director General Sutekno Ahmad Belon said the agency was very concerned with the current challenges of drug abuse and the increase in synthetic drug abuse as well as the emergence of new drugs. He said drug trafficking syndicates were also using technological developments for the wrong purpose, and this should be taken into account when formulating strategies to address drug problems. Among the programs implemented is the Solidarity Anak Muda Bebas Dada, which provides a platform for teenagers and youths across the country to express their stance in refusing to be involved in drug abuse, he added. The National Anti-Drugs Day has been celebrated on February 19 since 1983.
This post received a score of 67,000, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I flew into KK in like 2007 I think it was, and there were signs in the airport saying possession of marijuana is punishable by death. What a change.
Yep. Malaysian here. While this shift in mindset is great first step, the criminal punishment for marijuana-related crimes are insane. The weed isn't even that great here, so it's like not really worth it.
Lived in KL for most of the 2000s, I always warned other non-Malaysians not to mess with the drug laws around sea. Just get really drunk if you must. Unless it's Brunei or certain states in Malaysia and Indonesia, then stick to drinking with friends at home.
8 years in HK and I agree. Just stick to the booze, weed is not worth the risk.
I was always blown away whenever I encountered another foreigner casually asking about where they can get some weed. I am always happy to see people traveling to new places, but for Christ's sake develop some common sense and self-awareness. To my fellow Americans, unless you're on embassy property you do not have any special rights. Europeans, guys, ladies, it's hot, like really hot and humid, so humid.
Hell, I was afraid to drink in public in France because it's illegal in the US. I saw two guys smoking a joint in Paris and thought how bold they are to do that, and I'm from a legal state.
We smoke weed in the streets in LA. I was shocked with the amount of people asking me if I wanted a hit when I was homeless in Los Angeles and just moved there. It was like a few months before it became legal. My friend always took them. I wasn't that brave, especially in Venice upside down face.
LMAO after it became legal in my state and before I started vaping it, some dude in a park asked if I wanted to share a joint. Nowadays, maybe not during COVID, I might take him up on it.
Glad to see more info on this. I've been mentioning this in threads about people in prison for drugs in places like Singapore. The English reading audience assumes that all countries in Asia are draconian about drugs, but things are changing in Malaysia, and Thailand has done a massive 180 on cannabis. This has been unfolding in Malaysia for some time now.
Doing better than Australia. As an Aussie who has been visiting Malaysia and Thailand since 1994, I am happy to see this amazing progress, while Australia drags its heels with a happy-clappy pseudo-Christian ruling the country. Last year police were routinely looking up bums of random underage teens illegally at music festivals and train stations in New South Wales looking for drugs. Good news today is that Greens in New South Wales are proposing legislation to legalise pot.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.